My precious child, stop right here because what you are about to hear has been scheduled in heaven before you were even born. Congratulations. Yes, you heard that correctly. Congratulations. God is saying, a heaven-sent miracle is waiting for you. Your angel is not allowing you to skip this. It's very important. Open this quickly by tonight, 11:57 p.m., before it's too late. Don't skip God. This is not random. This is not coincidence. And this is not just another video in your feed. Right now, as your eyes move across these words, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael is standing at attention, sword lifted in light, guarding the miracle that has your name written on it. He had been instructed not to let you scroll past this moment. That restless feeling you had before clicking, that sudden urge to check this message, that was not you. That was divine orchestration. Heaven has marked this hour. There is a reason the time 11:57 p.m. has been highlighted in your spirit. It is symbolic. It represents the final 3 minutes before midnight. The final stretch before a new day begins. The closing seconds before something old expires and something new is born. And God is saying, do not miss your appointed time. You have cried in silence. You have prayed prayers that no one else heard. You have smiled in front of people while inside you felt uncertain. But what you did not see was this. Every tear was being collected. Every whisper was being recorded. Every act of faith was being counted. Now the answer is at the door. But listen carefully. Miracles are not just given. They are received. And reception requires attention. Why do you think this message feels urgent? Why does it feel like something inside you is saying, this is for me? Because it is. Archangel Michael has been assigned to protect what is about to enter your life. There have been resistance in the unseen realm. There have been delays. There have been distractions sent specifically to pull your focus away at the last minute. The enemy hoped you would be too busy, too tired, too skeptical to open this in time. But heaven overruled that plan. You are not here by accident. You are here because your obedience is being tested in a small but powerful way. God is watching how you respond to divine nudges. When He says, open this quickly, it is not about fear. It is about alignment. A miracle waiting for you is connected to timing. There is a door that has been prepared. Behind that door is restoration in an area where you thought nothing would change. It may be connected to your home, your finances, your health, or a relationship that has felt strained. The details are personal, but the promise is clear. Something that looked delayed is about to accelerate. And this acceleration is protected. Archangel Michael is not just a symbol in your life right now. He is active. He is shielding you from unseen attacks. He is pushing back forces that tried to intimidate you into giving up. That heaviness you felt last week, that sudden wave of doubt, it was a last attempt to drain your expectation. But you did not quit. And because you did not quit, heaven is responding. There is a divine exchange happening. Where you experienced loss, there will be gain. Where you felt overlooked, you will be recognized. Where you felt stuck, you will experience movement. However, the urgency remains. When God says, open this quickly by tonight, 11:57 p.m., He is emphasizing readiness. Midnight represents transition. At 11:57 p.m., you are still in the old day. 3 minutes later, everything changes. This is symbolic of your life. You are in the final moments of an old cycle. You not carry old doubt into a new season. You not carry old fear into a new blessing. Archangel Michael is ensuring you see this because your faith must be activated before the shift occurs. Faith is the key that unlocks what heaven has already approved. This is your moment to say, I receive what God is releasing. Do not treat this lightly. The miracle is described as heaven sent because it does not originate from human effort alone. It will surprise you. It will exceed logic. It will arrive in a way that makes you say, only God could have done this. And when it happens, you will remember this exact message. You will remember that you were warned not to skip. You will remember that 11:57 p.m. was not about a clock. It was about a threshold. Right now, pause. Breathe. Let your spirit become still. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your breakthrough. The sword he carries represents truth and protection. Nothing assigned to harm your destiny will be allowed to cross into this new chapter. But you must remain attentive. Heaven is not playing games with you. This is serious. This is sacred. Tonight marks a turning point. Before the clock strikes midnight in your life, there's an internal decision you must make. Will you believe that God's miracle is truly waiting for you? Because once you say yes in your spirit, everything begins to rearrange. And this is only the beginning of what is being revealed. Beloved soul, something is happening behind the scenes that you cannot yet see, but you are beginning to feel it. There is a stirring in your spirit, a quiet intensity that tells you this is not an ordinary season. Heaven does not announce miracles with noise. It releases them with precision. And right now, precision is being applied to your life. When God says a heaven-sent miracle is waiting for you, He is not speaking casually. This is not symbolic language meant to inspire you temporarily. This is a declaration, the kind that shifts timelines, the kind that overrides delay, the kind that makes what seemed impossible suddenly become natural. Archangel Michael has been positioned at the edge of your breakthrough, guarding the entrance to this next chapter. You may not see him, but his presence is active. The battles you thought were coincidence were actually spiritual confrontations. The sudden mood shifts, the unexplained tension, the strange obstacles that appeared out of nowhere. These were not random. They were resistance, because something valuable is about to be released to you. But here is what you must understand deeply. Miracles require alignment. God have been aligning conversations, aligning people, aligning opportunities. Even the things that did not work out recently were part of alignment. What fell apart had to fall apart because it could not enter where you are going. What disconnected had to disconnect because it was not built for the altitude of your next blessing. You felt disappointed. You questioned why doors closed. But heaven was protecting you from walking into a lesser version of your destiny. There is urgency in this message because time-sensitive obedience creates accelerated results. When God prompts you, when your angel stirs you, when something inside says, "Pay attention now," that is not pressure. It is invitation. The window of movement is open. The air is shifting. And Archangel Michael is ensuring that the forces that tried to distract you cannot silence this call. You have been praying for confirmation. This is confirmation. You have been asking for a sign. This is your sign. Do you remember that specific prayer you whispered late at night when no one was around? The one you were not even sure God heard? He heard it. And not only did He hear it, He scheduled a response. That response is connected to this moment. The miracle waiting for you is not just about material blessing. It is about restoration of confidence. It is about restoring your belief that God sees you personally. Somewhere along the way, you began to wonder if you were overlooked. You saw others celebrate breakthroughs while you were still waiting. But waiting does not mean forgotten. Waiting often means preparation. Preparation is uncomfortable because it stretches you. It forces you to grow in silence. It tests your endurance. Yet every second of it has built capacity within you. And now capacity meets opportunity. Archangel Michael's assignment around you is not only defensive, it is strategic. He is clearing the pathway ahead. He is ensuring that when this miracle manifests, it will not be easily stolen by doubt or fear. That is why you must guard your thoughts carefully in this hour. Negative words, skepticism, and distraction are tools used to weaken expectation. Do not let your mind sabotage what heaven has approved. There is something powerful about responding in faith publicly. When you interact with this message, when you type your agreement, when you declare that you receive it, you are not just engaging with a video. You are making a spiritual statement. So take a moment to like this message as a sign of agreement. Share it with someone who needs hope. Comment your faith declaration boldly. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because this space is becoming a vessel for divine timing and prophetic encouragement. When you engage, you amplify the reach of God's word to others who are on the edge of their miracle. And hear this clearly, your support is not about numbers. It is about alignment. Every action you take in faith strengthens your position in expectation. Something extraordinary is forming. The clock has not been mentioned without reason. There is symbolism in the countdown. It represents the final testing of patience before fulfillment. When the world sees nothing changing, heaven is finalizing details. Do not grow impatient now. The next revelation will clarify what this miracle is touching specifically in your life. What is about to unfold connects to something you thought was permanently delayed. But the delay was divine protection. Lean in closely, because what comes next will challenge your understanding in the best possible way. Hold on. You will want to see how this unfolds. Chosen one, there is a sacred detail you must not overlook tonight. The miracle waiting for you is not random provision. It is targeted restoration. It carries your name, your history, your silent tears, and your unspoken questions. This is why the urgency feels personal. Heaven is not releasing a general blessing. It is releasing something crafted specifically for your life. You have asked, God, when will it be my turn? And heaven has answered it now. But listen carefully. Before manifestation comes revelation. You must understand what is being restored so you can recognize it when it appears. A miracle is connected to something that almost broke your confidence. It is tied to a moment when you felt overlooked, misunderstood, or set aside. You tried to move on. You told yourself you did not care anymore. But deep inside, a part of you still hoped. God saw that hope. Archangel Michael has been standing between you and the forces that attempted to permanently close that chapter. There were whispers in the spiritual realm saying, "It's over for them. They missed their chance." But heaven responded with authority. The sword of protection was raised, and your timeline was preserved. You thought certain doors closed because you were not qualified. In truth, they closed because they were too small. You thought certain relationships faded because you were not valued. In truth, they faded because they could not carry your future weight. What you interpreted as rejection was redirection. And now redirection becomes revelation. The time 11:57 p.m. is symbolic of the final seconds before divine reversal. Midnight is not just the start of a new day. It is the burial of the old one. God is saying that what tried to define you in the previous season will not cross into the next. Shame will not cross. delay will not cross. Confusion will not cross. But you must release them before the clock turns. There is something powerful about agreement. If you hold on to doubt, you give it permission to remain. If you hold on to past hurt, you carry it into your future. Tonight is about surrender. It is about saying, God, I trust your timing more than my disappointment. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your miracle, he is also guarding your mind. There have been subtle attacks against your thoughts. Thoughts telling you nothing will change. Thoughts telling you to lower your expectations. Thoughts telling you to prepare for another disappointment. Those thoughts are not from God. Heaven speaks differently. Heaven says, prepare for increase. Heaven says, expect surprise. Heaven says, your obedience is about to meet reward. A miracle itself may appear simple at first. It may come through a phone call, an unexpected opportunity, a restored conversation, a financial opening, or a sudden shift in favor. Do not dismiss it because it does not look dramatic. Heaven often wraps powerful breakthroughs in ordinary packaging. But make no mistake, it will carry divine fingerprints. You will sense peace attached to it. You will feel clarity instead of confusion. You will notice doors opening without strain. That is how you will know this is the heaven-sent miracle you were promised. And here is the deeper truth. This miracle is not only for you. It is meant to become a testimony. Others will see what God has done and realize that their waiting is not wasted. Your breakthrough becomes permission for someone else to believe again. That is why this moment is guarded so intensely. Right now, I want you to align your heart with gratitude before you see results. Gratitude unlocks acceleration. When you thank God in advance, you demonstrate trust. And trust activates movement in the spiritual realm. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, type I receive the promise in the comments as an act of agreement. Lesson code 444 is being released over your life. This number represents stability, protection, and divine foundation. As you declare it, believe that your miracle is stabilizing into reality. And as this word settles into your spirit, understand something deeper. This channel is not just content. It is a vessel. It is a field where seeds of faith are being planted across nations. When you choose to sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering found in the description, you are not supporting a platform. You are fueling a harvest of hope. The Lord says, as you give, it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not a distant verse. It is a living promise spoken over you now. I feel prompted to say this clearly. I am responding to heaven's call in this moment. When you act in generosity, you become a partner in releasing light into dark places. Your seed becomes oil in a lamp that refuses to go out. Do not hesitate when the Spirit nudges you. Obey quickly. Sow boldly. And watch how God multiplies back into your own life what you have released in faith. The atmosphere is charged. The clock is moving. And what is about to unfold next will reveal why the urgency could not wait. Faithful one, the reason this message feels intense is because you are standing at a spiritual intersection. One path leads back into familiar waiting. The other leads into fulfillment. And heaven is urging you to choose belief with boldness. There is something you must understand about divine timing. God does not move according to human pressure. He moves according to divine precision. When He declares that a heaven-sent miracle is waiting for you, it means every detail has already been examined. Every risk has already been measured. Every outcome has already been secured. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into a prepared blessing. Archangel Michael remains positioned as a guardian over this transition. His presence signifies that what is unfolding carries weight. This is not a small adjustment in your life. This is a shift that will influence the months ahead. It will correct what felt unstable. It will reinforce what felt fragile. It will strengthen what once seemed weak. Think back to the last season of frustration you endured. There were moments when you almost accepted defeat. You almost convinced yourself that maybe this was simply how things would remain. But deep within, there was a resistance. A quiet voice saying, "This cannot be the end of my story." That voice was truth. A miracle waiting for you is connected to that resistance. It is tied to your refusal to settle. God honors endurance. He honors the person who continues praying when results are invisible. He honors the one who keeps believing when evidence is scarce. Right now, something is being repositioned in your favor. It may involve a decision being made by someone you have never met. It may involve a conversation that shifts unexpectedly. It may involve an opportunity reopening that you thought was permanently closed. The details will surprise you, but the peace attached to it will confirm it. You must remain spiritually alert. Distractions increase when breakthroughs approach. Notice how lately small things have attempted to drain your energy. Minor conflicts, sudden doubts, unnecessary worries. These are subtle strategies designed to redirect your focus. When attention weakens, expectation weakens. And when expectation weakens, faith becomes fragile. But you are being called higher. Heaven is asking you to rise above temporary noise and anchor yourself in promise. When God says, "Do not skip," it is because skipping moments of obedience delays momentum. The miracle has been scheduled. The question is whether you will align with it. There is also something deeper unfolding within you. This miracle is not only external. It is internal transformation. Confidence is being restored. Courage is being rebuilt. Vision is being clarified. The person you are becoming is stronger than the person who started this journey. Archangel Michael's guarding presence signifies protection not only over your circumstances but over your identity. The enemy attempted to distort how you see yourself. It attempted to convince you that you were behind, unqualified, or forgotten. But heaven is correcting that narrative. You are chosen for this shift. And here is a truth you must absorb. Miracles often arrive disguised as responsibility. When the opportunity appears, it may require action. It may require courage. It may require stepping out of comfort. Do not misinterpret responsibility as burden. Sometimes responsibility is proof that heaven trusts you. Prepare your mindset for expansion. A symbolism of 11:57 p.m. continues to echo. 3 minutes before midnight represents final preparation. It represents the tightening of focus before a race begins. It represents silence before announcement. You are in that silence now. And silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. God is aligning elements you cannot see. Archangel Michael is clearing resistance you cannot detect. Doors are being unlocked quietly. Stay steady. There may be a final emotional test before manifestation. A moment where you are tempted to react negatively. A moment where you feel misunderstood again. In that moment, choose grace. Choose patience. Choose trust. Your response will seal the transition. The miracle is closer than it appears. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are precisely positioned for a shift that will confirm that heaven hath been listening all along. Lean into expectation now. The next revelation will uncover why this blessing carries more impact than you originally imagined. The depth of what is about to unfold will make you realize that every delay had purpose. Remain attentive. The atmosphere is still building. Brave heart. There is a sacred tension in the air right now, and it is not accidental. It is the tension that comes just before release. You have felt it in subtle ways. A mix of anticipation and uncertainty. A quiet sense that something is about to break open. This is the atmosphere of divine fulfillment forming around you. The heaven-sent miracle that has been spoken over your life is not floating somewhere in the distance. It is approaching. It is moving. It is aligning itself with your obedience. And obedience, in this hour, looks like trust without visible proof. You have been trained through delay. That may sound strange, but it is true. Delay has refined your patience. It has strengthened your discernment. It has forced you to rely on God when your own understanding could not provide answers. What felt like stagnation was actually spiritual conditioning. Now you are conditioned for overflow. Archangel Michael remains assigned to your transition. His presence signifies that what is coming required protection long before you knew it existed. There were unseen negotiations in the spiritual realm. There were attempts to reroute your blessing. But every attempt was intercepted. Every plan that was not aligned with your destiny was dismantled. You may never fully know what you were shielded from, but one day you will look back and realize how many silent battles were fought on your behalf. The urgency of this message is not about fear. It is about readiness. When God says, "Open this quickly," He is teaching you responsiveness. Miracles often require swift alignment. When the opportunity appears, hesitation can cost momentum. This is why your spirit is being stirred now. Heaven is preparing you to respond without doubt. There is also an emotional restoration unfolding within you. The area where you felt disappointment has not been ignored. God does not overlook wounds. He transforms them. The miracle waiting for you carries healing within it. It will not just fix circumstances, it will restore confidence. Confidence is important because what is coming will require you to stand firm. When favor begins to show up, not everyone will understand it. When doors open easily, some may question it. But you must remember that what is released by heaven does not need human approval. Archangel Michael's guarding presence ensures that envy, negativity, and spiritual interference cannot sabotage what is divinely assigned. However, your role is to maintain gratitude. Gratitude stabilizes blessings. When you thank God before manifestation, you declare trust in His character. Right now, say within yourself, "I trust the timing of my miracle." There is something profound about the symbolism of approaching midnight. Midnight represents crossover. It represents stepping from one reality into another. The last few minutes before midnight often feel ordinary. Nothing dramatic appears to be happening. But once the clock turns, a new date is declared. In your life, you are seconds away from a new declaration. Do not allow impatience to blur your clarity. Impatience whispers that nothing is changing. Faith declares that everything is aligning. Choose the voice of faith. You might notice small confirmations in the coming hours or days. Subtle signs. Encouraging conversations. Unexpected favor. Do not dismiss them. They are indicators that movement has begun. Heaven rarely shifts everything at once. It begins with signals. Pay attention to those signals. Also guard your words carefully. Speak life over your situation. Avoid negative predictions. A posture of belief attracts fulfillment. There is a reason Archangel Michael is highlighted so strongly in this season. His role is not passive. He stands as a warrior of light, symbolizing divine defense and decisive victory. His assignment around you signals that what you are stepping into carries impact. This is not a minor blessing. It will influence your direction, your confidence, and possibly even your environment. And here is something even deeper. A miracle waiting for you is connected to identity alignment. As it manifests, you will begin to see yourself differently. Stronger, chosen, protected, capable. The version of you that doubted your worth is fading. The version of you that understands divine favor is emerging. Remain steady. The next revelation will begin to uncover how this miracle extends beyond you and touches those around you. The ripple effect is greater than you imagine. What heaven is releasing is not only personal, it carries generational influence. Stay anchored. The shift is closer than it appears. Steadfast spirit, you are entering the most delicate phase of this transition. This is the moment where doubt tries one last time to reclaim territory. It whispers, "What if nothing happens?" It suggests maybe this is just another wave of hope. But you must recognize this voice for what it is: resistance reacting to imminent breakthrough. When heaven announces a miracle, resistance increases before it collapses. The atmosphere around you is charged because movement has already begun. Conversations are shifting. Decisions are being influenced. Opportunities are repositioning themselves in your direction. You may not see the evidence yet, but movement does not require visibility to be real. Archangel Michael remains actively assigned to your protection. His presence symbolizes more than defense, it represents enforcement. What God has authorized over your life cannot be revoked by human opinion or spiritual opposition. There were forces that attempted to slow this down. There were delays that seemed permanent. But permanent was never the plan. This miracle carries restoration energy. It is not simply adding something new. It is correcting what felt misaligned. It is restoring what felt stolen. It is redeeming time that felt wasted. And redemption is one of heaven's most powerful signatures. You have endured seasons where you questioned your direction. You wondered if you made wrong choices. You replayed decisions in your mind, thinking perhaps you had stepped outside divine timing. But what you did not see was this: even your detours were woven into destiny. God does not lose control when you feel confused. He recalibrates. Right now, recalibration is complete. The symbolism of 11:57 p.m. continues to echo because it represents final readiness. 3 minutes before midnight is not panic time. It is alignment time. It is when you straighten your posture, focus your eyes, and prepare for the clock to turn. In your life, this means adjusting your mindset. Release fear completely. Fear is the last chain that tries to hold you to the old season. It convinces you that disappointment is safer than expectation. But expectation is the doorway to manifestation. If you expect nothing, you prepare for nothing. If you expect divine intervention, you position yourself for recognition. Archangel Michael's guarding role also includes protecting your expectation. There have been subtle attempts to distract you recently. Small emotional triggers, minor frustrations, unnecessary conflicts. These are not random. They are designed to lower your spiritual alertness. When you become emotionally drained, you become spiritually passive. But you are being called to remain engaged. Engagement looks like active faith. It looks like speaking positively when circumstances are neutral. It looks like preparing practically for opportunity. It looks like maintaining discipline even when results are not yet visible. And listen carefully. This is also a moment of collective faith. When you like this message, when you share it with someone who is waiting on their own breakthrough, when you comment your declaration boldly, you create an atmosphere of agreement. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because these words are not random uploads. They are divine reminders released on time. Your engagement helps this message reach someone else who may be standing at their own 11:57 p.m. moment. Something powerful is unfolding, and you are part of it. Before everything shifts, there is often a quiet stillness. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. Stillness is sacred preparation. It is when heaven finalizes details without noise. It is when Archangel Michael stands firm, ensuring that no interference disrupts the appointed release. You may feel an unusual calm right now. That calm is confirmation. It is the peace that comes when destiny is secure. But here is what you must guard carefully: your response when the miracle begins to appear. Sometimes blessing arrives gradually. Sometimes it arrives suddenly. Either way, humility must remain. Gratitude must remain. Faith must remain. A miracle waiting for you is not meant to inflate pride. It is meant to increase purpose. You will soon realize that what felt delayed was actually divine synchronization. Every previous no was protecting a greater yes. Every closed door was steering you toward the right entrance. And when that entrance opens, it will not require force. It will require faith. Stay alert. Stay expectant. The next revelation will begin to uncover how this miracle reshapes not only your present but your future trajectory. What is coming carries more influence than you currently imagine. Hold steady. The clock is moving closer to declaration. Faithful warrior, you are now standing at the edge of visible manifestation. What have been forming in silence is preparing to step into reality. The pressure you have felt recently was not meant to crush you. It was meant to strengthen your expectation. Pressure often precedes promotion. Tension often precedes testimony. The heaven-sent miracle spoken over your life is no longer distant. It is approaching your present moment with intention. You may notice subtle confirmations increasing. A sense of clarity replacing confusion. A quiet assurance replacing anxiety. These are signals that alignment is complete. Archangel Michael continues to stand guard, but now his role is shifting from defensive positioning to victorious announcement. There is a difference between fighting for something and standing in the certainty of its arrival. The battle phase is ending. The reception phase is beginning. You must prepare your heart to receive without skepticism. For a long time, you protected yourself by lowering expectations. You told yourself not to hope too much, just in case. You guarded your emotions because disappointment had visited before. But this is not the same season. The difference now is divine authorization. What is coming has heaven's seal. The symbolism of approaching midnight has deeper meaning. Midnight represents the moment when old definitions expire. It is when the previous date no longer holds authority. In your life, certain labels are expiring. The label of delay is expiring. The label of overlooked is expiring. The label of almost is expiring. You are stepping into fulfillment. But there is one final internal adjustment required. You must forgive the waiting. Yes, forgive the waiting. Release the frustration you carried toward the process. Release the silent resentment you felt when others moved ahead. That emotional residue cannot enter where you are going. Archangel Michael's guarding presence ensures that external interference cannot sabotage this miracle. But internal alignment is your responsibility. Clear your heart. Clear your mind. Clear your expectations of limitation. There is also a ripple effect attached to this blessing. It will not only impact you, it will shift dynamics around you. Someone close to you will witness the change and feel renewed faith. Someone who almost gave up will reconsider because of your testimony. That is why the miracle carries weight beyond personal comfort. It carries influence. You may be wondering what form this miracle will take. Understand this clearly. Heaven customizes blessings. For some, it will be a financial opening that removes pressure. For others, it will be a restored relationship that heals years of tension. For others, it will be clarity about direction, finally breaking confusion. Whatever form it takes, it will answer a specific prayer you once whispered, and when it appears, it will feel right. There will be no confusion attached to it, no forced energy, no manipulation. It will align naturally like a door opening without resistance. That ease will confirm divine origin. Archangel Michael stands not only as a warrior, but as a witness. He has witnessed your perseverance. He has witnessed your late-night prayers. He has witnessed your silent tears. Now he stands as witness to your breakthrough. Do not rush ahead of the blessing. Allow it to unfold fully. Sometimes miracles come in stages. The first stage is confirmation. The second stage is opportunity. The third stage is establishment. Be patient with each phase. There may also be a moment of disbelief when it first appears. You might think, is this really happening? In that moment, choose faith over doubt. Accept it. Receive it. Do not question your worthiness. Worthiness was settled when heaven authorized your name. Remember, urgency was emphasized not to create fear but to awaken awareness. When God says, do not skip, He is protecting your attention. Attention is powerful. Where your focus goes, your expectation grows. Right now, focus on gratitude. Begin thanking God in advance for the specific area you believe is about to shift. Speak it widely if you must, but speak it. Gratitude creates spiritual momentum. The next unfolding will reveal how this miracle connects to a greater calling over your life. What is arriving is not random comfort. It is preparation for expansion. You are not just being blessed. You are being positioned. Stay steady. The declaration is near. Anointed listener, this is the hour where confirmation begins to crystallize into clarity. You have felt the build-up. You have sensed the spiritual movement. Now the understanding deepens. The miracle that has been waiting for you is not only about relief. It is about repositioning you into your true spiritual rank. For too long, you underestimated your assignment. You saw yourself as surviving when heaven saw you as advancing. You saw delay when heaven saw development. You saw silence when heaven saw strategy. But now, revelation is catching up with reality. Archangel Michael stands not only as protector but as announcer of divine promotion. His presence around this transition signifies that what is happening is recognized in the spiritual realm as significant. You are not stepping into a minor upgrade. You are stepping into an answered season. The symbolism of 11:57 p.m. has carried you through anticipation. Now understand what happens after midnight. After midnight, a new record is written. A new date is declared. A new timeline begins. In your life, this means a spiritual reset. The previous narrative that defined you no longer has authority. The story changes here. The miracle waiting for you has layers. The first layer is visible blessing. The second layer is inner confidence. The third layer is expanded influence. God is not just giving you something. He is transforming how you walk. There were moments when you questioned your value. Moments when you felt like your prayers were hitting a ceiling. Moments when you wondered if perhaps you misunderstood your calling. But heaven was never confused about you. Archangel Michael's guarding assignment included protecting your destiny from distortion. There were lies that attempted to rewrite your future. There were opinions that tried to limit your reach. There were voices that subtly suggested you were too late, too small, or too ordinary. But those voices carried no authority. Authority belongs to God alone. And God is saying, congratulations. Not congratulations for what you see yet, but congratulations for what has already been secured. The miracle is waiting because it has been prepared. It has been processed. It has been approved. Now comes your response. You must step into agreement boldly. Do not shrink when favor begins to appear. Do not apologize for answered prayer. Do not downplay breakthrough to make others comfortable. When heaven elevates you, humility remains, but insecurity must leave. There is also a deeper layer unfolding. This miracle is activating a greater spiritual sensitivity within you. You will begin to discern more clearly. You will sense divine timing more accurately. You will recognize spiritual resistance sooner. This is growth. Archangel Michael's presence signifies that you are not alone in this development. Protection continues even as promotion begins. The same force that guarded you in delay will guard you in increase. If this message has confirmed what your spirit had been sensing, type "I step into my new season" in the comments. Blessing code 888 is being released over your life. This number represents divine completion and overflow. As you declare it, believe that cycles of limitation are closing and cycles of abundance are opening. And as this new season unfolds, understand that you are part of a larger movement of faith. This message is reaching souls across borders. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are planting seed into a field where lives are being awakened. The Lord declares, those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Hear that as a personal promise spoken over you now. I sense this strongly. I am stepping forward in obedience as heaven invites me. When you respond generously, you participate in spreading light into places that have been waiting for confirmation. Your seed becomes water in dry ground. It becomes oil in lamps that are flickering. Do not delay when you feel the nudge. Act with faith. Sow with expectation. Believe that as you release support into God's work, heaven releases increase into your own life. The transition is real. The declaration has been made. What unfolds next will reveal how deeply this repositioning will impact your future path. Called and appointed one, you are no longer standing at the edge of change. You have crossed into it. Even if your physical eyes have not yet seen full manifestation, spiritually the shift has already occurred. Something irreversible has taken place in your favor. The congratulations spoken over you was not premature. It was prophetic. There is a difference between hoping for a miracle and being positioned inside one. You have moved from hope into positioning. The atmosphere around your life has been adjusted. Conversations that once seemed blocked are loosening. Opportunities that once felt distant are drawing near. The resistance that once felt heavy is weakening. Archangel Michael remains present, but now the posture is different. The guarding sword that once defended against interference now stands as a symbol of secured victory. The battle over whether you would receive this breakthrough has ended. The only question that remains is how boldly you will walk into it. You may begin noticing subtle confirmations. Perhaps a door opens that you did not knock on recently. Perhaps someone reaches out unexpectedly. Perhaps clarity drops into your mind about a next step that once confused you. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. Heaven does not operate in coincidence when it has already declared intention. The miracle waiting for you carries divine orchestration. Pieces that looked unrelated are beginning to connect. What felt like random delays now make sense in hindsight. You are seeing how timing protected you from stepping into something too early. Early blessings can become burdens, but timely blessings become foundations. The symbolism of midnight has now transitioned into manifestation. Midnight is not loud. It arrives quietly. 1 second it is one day. The next second it is another. In the same way, your life may not explode with visible fireworks. Instead, it will shift quietly but decisively. And when you look back weeks from now, you will realize the turning point happened in this season. There is also an inner authority rising within you. You are speaking differently, thinking differently, carrying yourself differently. That is not imagination. That is transformation. The miracle is not only external provision. It is internal empowerment. Archangel Michael's continued presence signifies that protection travels with you into this new chapter. Favor does not remove the need for vigilance. It strengthens your awareness. You will be more discerning about who you allow close, more intentional about where you invest energy, more confident about what you decline. This is growth. Do not feel guilty for outgrowing old patterns. Do not apologize for stepping beyond environments that once defined you. Evolution is not betrayal. It is obedience to divine progression. There may be individuals who question your sudden shift. They may wonder how things changed so quickly. But they did not witness the nights of prayer. They did not see the private endurance. They did not feel the silent warfare you navigated. Heaven saw it. Archangel Michael stood in it. And now heaven responds. The miracle may also require action on your part. A step of courage. A conversation. A decision. Do not hesitate when clarity arrives. If obedience maintains momentum. When God moves, respond with alignment. And remember this deeply, you were never behind. You were being prepared. The narrative that you missed your chance was false. The narrative that others were ahead was incomplete. Timing in the kingdom operates differently. You were being positioned for sustainability, not speed alone. Sustainability ensures that what arrives stays. As you move forward, maintain gratitude. Gratitude keeps the channel open. When you thank God not only for what He has done but for who He is, you anchor your blessing in humility. There is one more layer that will soon unfold. The next revelation will show you how this miracle connects to a greater assignment beyond personal relief. What is happening in your life is not isolated. It carries influence that will ripple outward. Stay attentive. Stay aligned. The shift has begun, and it is deeper than surface circumstances. The foundation of your next season has been laid. Hold steady. The unfolding continues. Radiant soul, what is unfolding now is the unveiling of purpose attached to your miracle. Up until this moment, you have been focused on relief, breakthrough, and restoration. But heaven never releases blessing without embedding assignment within it. The miracle that has been waiting for you is not only about changing your circumstances. It is about activating your calling at a higher level. You have crossed midnight spiritually. The old narrative has expired. Now the question is not whether God will move. The question is how you will steward what He releases. Archangel Michael remains near, but his presence now carries confirmation rather than conflict. The guarding phase has transitioned into guiding. Protection has become partnership. You are not only being defended, you are being directed. There is a reason this message emphasized urgency. Urgency awakens focus, and focus prepares you for responsibility. What is coming into your life will require maturity. It will require discernment. It will require courage. Perhaps the miracle will open a financial door that relieves pressure. If so, wisdom will be required to manage it. Perhaps it will restore a relationship. If so, humility and communication will be necessary to sustain it. Perhaps it will present an opportunity you once dreamed of. If so, discipline will be essential to walk it out. Miracles are invitations to expansion. Expansion can feel intimidating if you are still thinking from a limited mindset. That is why heaven spent this entire season reshaping your thinking. You are no longer the person who doubted quietly. You are becoming someone who believes boldly. Archangel Michael's presence signals that divine authority backs this expansion. When opposition rises, it will not have the same effect it once did. You have been strengthened. You have been refined. You have been prepared. There is also something powerful about community in this hour. When you engage with this message, when you like it as a sign of agreement, when you share it with someone who is waiting for confirmation, you create a ripple of expectation. Comment your declaration openly. Subscribe if you have not already, because this space is becoming a gathering point for those who refuse to give up on divine timing. Your engagement is not casual. It is a signal of alignment. And listen closely to this. What comes next carries depth. You will want to remain attentive because the final unfolding reveals why this miracle was never only about you. Trust me, what is about to be understood will expand your perspective beyond personal breakthrough. There is a shift happening in your influence. People will begin to seek your counsel. They will notice your stability. They will sense your peace. The very area where you once felt weakest will become a testimony of strength. That is how God works. He does not waste pain. He transforms it into authority. The midnight crossover has already occurred. Now you are walking into early morning light. The air feels different at dawn. It carries freshness. It carries possibility. It carries clarity. In your life, this dawn represents renewed direction. You may feel prompted to make decisions you once postponed. You may feel bold enough to step into spaces you once avoided. But courage is not self-generated. It is the result of divine reassurance. Archangel Michael's assignment around you confirms that this path is protected. Move forward without fear. Speak without shrinking. Act without second-guessing when clarity comes. But remember, humility anchors elevation. As you rise, remain grounded in gratitude. As doors open, remain conscious of the one who opened them. As favor appears, remain generous in spirit. The miracle waiting for you has already begun its manifestation. What remains is your partnership with it. And partnership requires participation. The final unfolding will reveal the full circle of this message. It will show how your obedience, at 11:57 p.m., your decision not to skip, not to ignore, not to dismiss, became the turning key to something far greater than you initially understood. Stay attentive. The revelation is about to complete itself. Beloved vessel of destiny, you are now standing inside the unfolding you once prayed for. The atmosphere has shifted. The resistance that once felt thick has thinned. The anxiety that once tried to grip your thoughts has loosened its hold. Something has settled into place, and deep down you know it. This is not imagination. This is arrival. The heaven-sent miracle that was waiting for you did not disappear. It did not expire. It did not pass you by. It aligned itself with your obedience, your endurance, and your refusal to give up at 11:57 p.m. in your spirit. When you chose faith instead of indifference, something locked into position. Archangel Michael still stands near, but now his presence feels different. It is no longer the intensity of battle. It is the calm authority of secured ground. The territory that once felt contested is now established. The thing that once felt uncertain now carries stability. You may already be noticing subtle but undeniable change. Perhaps clarity has replaced confusion. Perhaps opportunity has replaced stagnation. Even if the full picture is still forming, the foundation has shifted beneath your feet. This is what divine transition feels like. It does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes it arrives quietly like sunrise. One moment it is dark. The next moment light is touching everything. There is something important you must understand now. A miracle was never meant to make you comfortable. It was meant to make you courageous. Comfort keeps you contained. Courage expands your territory. And expansion is what this season is about. You have been strengthened through waiting. You have been sharpened through delay. You have been matured through silence. Now that strength must be used. Archangel Michael's continued presence signifies that protection remains active, but now you are also stepping into authority. You are not just someone who survived difficulty. You are someone who overcame it. A difference matters. Survival carries relief. Overcoming carries confidence. Confidence is what will sustain this blessing. There may still be moments where old thoughts try to resurface. Thoughts that question whether this stability will last. Thoughts that whisper that something might go wrong. When those thoughts appear, recognize them as echoes of a former season. They no longer hold power over you. The midnight threshold has been crossed. The old day cannot return. Now you must walk forward intentionally. What has been placed in your hands, whether it is opportunity, clarity, restoration, or provision, must be handled with wisdom. Pray for discernment. Ask for guidance. Remain attentive to subtle nudges. Divine partnership continues beyond the breakthrough. There is also a greater layer unfolding. The reason this miracle carried such urgency is because it is connected to timing beyond your own life. Someone else's breakthrough is linked to your obedience. Someone else's faith is strengthened by your testimony. Your yes created a ripple. Do not underestimate that ripple. You are entering a season where your words carry more weight. Your decisions carry more impact. Your presence carries more influence. This is not pressure. It is promotion. Archangel Michael's assignment around you confirms that heaven does not elevate without equipping. The strength you need will meet the responsibility you carry. You may soon realize that what once intimidated you no longer does. Conversations that once made you nervous now feel natural. Steps that once felt risky now feel necessary. This is growth manifesting. Remember the urgency of 11:57 p.m. It was never about fear of being too late. It was about awakening you before the shift occurred. It was about ensuring you stepped into midnight consciously, not accidentally. And you did. Now only one layer remains. The final revelation will complete the circle. It will show you why heaven insisted you not skip. It will seal this season with clarity and blessing. Stay present. Stay grateful. Stay aligned. The closing declaration is about to be spoken. My treasured child, this is the sealing of the promise. Everything that has been spoken, everything that has been stirred in your spirit, everything that felt urgent and sacred was leading to this final realization. The miracle was never just ahead of you. It was moving toward you while heaven was moving within you. When God said, "Congratulations, a heaven-sent miracle is waiting for you," It was not poetic encouragement. It was a heavenly announcement. And when your angel would not allow you to skip, it was because this moment was marked. The time 11:57 p.m. was symbolic of divine urgency, not panic, but positioning. Not fear, but focus. You crossed the threshold. The old season has officially expired. The doubts that defined you no longer have legal ground. The delays that shaped you no longer control you. The confusion that clouded you no longer speaks for you. Archangel Michael stands as witness to this completion. His assignment in your life during this transition was not accidental. He guarded your mind when thoughts tried to overwhelm you. He defended your progress when unseen resistance tried to slow you. He stood firm when you felt fragile. Now he stands as a symbol of secured victory. The miracle that has manifested, whether in visible form already or in the final stages of arrival, carries heaven's fingerprint. It carries peace. It carries alignment. It carries clarity. And most importantly, it carries purpose. You are not the same person who first heard this message. You are stronger. You are clearer. You are more spiritually alert. And you are more aware of divine timing. The reason this message carried such urgency is because obedience in small moments unlocks acceleration in major ones. When you chose to pay attention instead of scroll away, when you chose to believe instead of dismiss, when you chose expectation instead of indifference, something shifted permanently. Heaven responds to attention. And now, as this season seals, you must carry one truth forward. Do not shrink back into old thinking. Do not minimize what God has done. Do not quietly downplay your testimony. Celebrate it. Speak it. Own it. Because someone else is standing at their own 11:57 p.m. moment right now, wondering if God sees them. Your breakthrough is proof that He does. Archangel Michael's presence in your journey reminds you that you are never navigating alone. Protection surrounds you. Guidance accompanies you. And divine authority backs what has been released. As this declaration closes, I want you to mark this moment in faith. Type IT is done in the comments if you receive this completion. Blessing code 999 is now activated over your life. This number represents divine finality and fulfillment. As you declare it, believe that what heaven started in you has been completed in power. And now hear this as a living invitation, flowing from this very miracle. The same God who positioned your breakthrough is calling you to help position someone else's. Scripture declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not distant history. This is God speaking to you now. I am stepping forward in obedience to extend this light further. When you release a super thanks, join membership, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are sowing into souls at their midnight hour. Your seed becomes oil that keeps this fire burning across nations. Do not hesitate when you feel the nudge. Act in faith. Sow with boldness. And watch how heaven multiplies back into your life the very miracle you just received. The circle is complete. The miracle has been released. And your next season has officially begun.